Hi, so today I'm presenting a paper submitted by Xiaohongshu, or known as RedNote, in 2025 Recommender System. This paper was nominated as a candidate for Best Paper, so it's very interesting. Um, let's go into it. So this paper is trying to predict watch time for short videos using what they call EGMN, a exponential Gaussian mixture network. So first of all, what is the motivation of this paper? Why do they care about predicting watch time? Um, so in today's social media, short video platforms like TikTok, Instagram, or this platform, Xiaohongshu or RedNote, there's a lot of content driven by videos, and it's very important to be able to predict whether a certain user will watch the full length of the video or not in order to optimize the recommender system. So watch time is a very valuable signal because so this diagram tells you why. Um, there are a lot of data points or interaction the user can have with a video, but many of them are very scarce and binary. For example, if I watch this video, do I like it? Do I save it? Do I follow the creator? Do I watch the completion of the video? All of these data points are binary and they're very scarce. So not a lot of people will click a like after watching the video, right? So you don't get a lot of data coverage. However, data watch time is a data that is not binary. It's a continuous signal, and it's a of course the coverage is 100%. You know, the user clicks, uh, opens the video, and there you have a point. There you have a data point. So you have a ton of data points, continuous signals. So that is the best data source to model on. Um, and also, you know, if you can make better predictions, that gives you better recommendation, better retention, and monetization. So that's why this team want to focus on predicting watch time. Unfortunately, the watch time distribution is not uh, a good-looking bell curve. So this is the overall distribution. Um, it looks like it has a spike at the very beginning and a long tail, and they break it down. They break it down by the video's length. So all of these different axes are for different length of the video. So for example, if the very short video lasting between 10 to 15 seconds, you have this distribution. It's a relatively long video and has this distribution. So all of this different axes of video show a very similar pattern. What in the paper they describe it as double peak. So they all have a peak, a spike at the very beginning, but the then it flattens out, and then it has a peak at the end of the video. So this is two different behaviors. One is what they call quick skips. So the user opens up the video and just watch for 1 or 2 seconds and decide they're not interested, they just swipe away. This is the quick skips. And the long tail at the end means that user really loves the video and finish almost the entirety of the video. So as you can see, there's a similar pattern spike at the beginning And for different videos, also a heavy group of users tend to watch it until the end, which if you only look at the overall distribution, it obscures this additional different information. It only flattens out to be a long tail. So also there's more. So this is what they call a skew. But also there's a multimodal aspect of the distribution. Not only there are different length of video, there are also different types of users. So there are the users that are very picky or very accepting, very patient users. And also there are different types of videos. Some videos are about cooking, or some videos about movies or beauties. They all different users and different types of videos. They all contribute to the diversity of the distribution. So you can't really, which is why you need a model that can model both this distribution well and also be able to handle the diversity, the finer granularity of these different features. Yeah, so this is essentially explaining that. So if you go, so this distribution and the fact that there are different types of features is why uh, the standard approach, regular approach, fall short. Because just imagine if we are only predicting a regression model, and we train the model using just predicting one mean average watch time, then for example, this distribution would have an average of 20 seconds of watch time. So that model, that simple regression model, completely lost on this double peak distribution at the very beginning and at the completion of the video, because they average down to the middle. So instead, the team used a combination or a mixture of an exponential model with a group of Gaussian distribution models. So the exponential model, the component, is essentially trying to capture the early peak, or what they call the quick skips. And the K Gaussian models, or the Gaussian mixtures, are for different types of videos, different types of users, different types of video length. So this is going to handle the diverse granularity of the features. And at the end, they just combine all this, uh, a mixture of models, to get the final prediction. This graph shows you the overall architecture of this model. So you extract the features of the user, of the video, and then you feed these parameters into all these Gaussian models. Also, there is the exponential model. Then you also you combine them, assigning different weights, and combine them into the final model and make the prediction. Yeah. So as I explained, so you have all these inputs, all these features from your data, and you feed them to the model. Now, to train this model, it is very tricky. You have to be very selective and intelligent in picking your loss function when training this model. So this team, they pick also a mixture of three different loss functions. So they pick the MLE, the maximum likelihood estimation, which is also a negative log distribution function to fit the overall distribution. But then they also add an entropy loss function, so that they encourage basically they encourage trying to utilize as many Gaussian models as possible instead of just collapsing into one. So if they don't have that entropy loss function, it is likely that the model ended up putting a heavy weight on one of the models and just give it zero weights to the others. So this entropy loss function encourages this system to have a, I wouldn't say even distribution, but like a meaningful, non-trivial weight to each models. And then there's also the final regression loss function to make sure the overall the model still gives a very good estimation of the prediction time. So they have this model and they run it across different data sets and compare it with other baseline models. Um, the metrics they use are MAE and area under curve. So overall, the conclusion, so there's four data sets. One is their own data sets of short video times, and also there are ones from WeChat and yeah, basically other data sets. And so they run experiments, and overall, um, this EGMN model outperforms pretty much all of the baselines. So it's pretty good. Yeah. So as you can see, this is a comparison of the EGMN with another what they call a CRED model, which is a previous model, which is a model proposed by a previous paper uh, in predicting watch time. So the blue distribution is the actual distribution. Like we said, there's a double peak pattern here. And as you can see, the green one, the green curve is EGMN prediction, and it's largely in line with the actual distribution, whereas CRID, it it fails to capture the double peak, and because they maybe they use the a mean. So like I explained, if you use the mean, then this distribution, this double peak, kind of averages out in the middle. So this is a uh, very poor prediction compared to the ground truth. Also compared to EGMN. So what is the takeaway of this? Um, this EGMN model can be applied to target when it meets the following conditions. First is the continuous data points, right? It's not binary, it's not scarce. Also, it follows the following distribution patterns, like it has a very heavy skew at the lower end, and also it shows, a diverse multi-model distribution. And one thing to note is that this team arrived at this model not because they just came out of the blue, but because they studied the distribution first. They realized that pattern of early skew and double peak, and then they came with this hypothesis so of EGMN. So they didn't try to force the data into a model, but instead they look at this model, the data distribution, and try to come up with the hypotheses of what the actual underlying distribution model might be. So that is all for this paper for my presentation. Thank you.